Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. Let us learn from number 88 of Words for Work. Raising children is like frying eggs, neither too burnt nor too raw. Raising children is like frying eggs, neither too burnt nor too raw. Thank you, Lord God. All right. Raising the children, what does that have to do with work? Well, private matters obviously affect your work abilities, right? Your work performances. Because if you have too much stress at home, that can obviously have a negative effect to your work. So I think that's why he threw, that's my assumption. I think that's why he threw in this teaching here. Interesting, huh? Frying eggs. So he's talking about making a sunny side up. When you make sunny side up, what do? It can't be too burnt or nor too raw, right? If it's too burnt, it doesn't taste good. If it's too raw, I mean, it's not sunny side up. So this is my guess, right? What I thought he was saying here is about being too strict or too easy on your child. And if you're too strict, I think that meant, too burnt. And then if you're too lenient to your child, that's like too raw. And wow, I think this is a great analogy. There's always the middle path, right? And when it comes to whether it be, I don't know if this applies to children's education, but he says in work, you have to sometimes be stern to point out a mistake of your subordinates or maybe even colleagues or sometimes even your boss. And also you have to be kind and caring and forgiving, and you have to be nurturing at the same time. There's a balance to it, he says. There's a balance to being strict and kind and tolerant. So how should the balance be? What's the ratio? Well, Master says 80% of the time, try to be tolerant and nurturing and understanding. 20% of the times, however, you do have to be stern and strict and say things, not beating around the bush, but saying it directly so that they can understand that they've made a mistake. So it's an 80-20 ratio in average. Of course, depending on the personality, things might change. But if you keep that in mind as that's like the golden rule that Master has taught us, then, we can go back to the middle path. If you think that, all right, if I'm like 50-50, I'm too strict. But if I'm like 95-5, I barely scold someone, then sometimes I have to summon up my courage to scold someone straightforwardly to that person. So, going back to the words of raising children, I guess that applies too. You need to have both, but it has to be in the right ratio, and it can't be neither too burnt or too raw. To close it off, let me read the sentence again. Raising children is like frying eggs, neither too burnt nor too raw. Thank you very much.